I'm Linda Marson from the Tarot Guild of Australia. The tarot deck consists of 78 cards, 22 of which are called the Major Arcana.
These cards represent the major secrets or archetypal behaviour patterns that motivate people. They illustrate stages in the personal journeys we make in all aspects of our lives, from relationships to career to leisure pursuits. Our journey today takes us to England and demonstrates the meaning of card number 5 in the tarot deck, the Hierophant. The Hierophant sits high above 2 disciples who kneel before him. The 2 crossed keys at his feet suggest he can open the door to the secrets of the universe. However, the grey pillars on either side of him represent the boundaries of society, the boundaries set by his own belief systems. The Hierophant can represent a teacher, priest or guru in your life, someone whose view of the world you follow. However, if he is truly a teacher, he will allow you to challenge his doctrine, to question whether it is the right spiritual path for you. When the Hierophant appears in your cards, you need to take responsibility for your own spiritual development. You're being asked to question the doctrines you have grown up with, cultural or religious. If you don't, you run the risk of allowing the beliefs of others to dictate your behaviour.
Bendito sea el Espíritu Santo Consolador.
Bendito sea el nombre de María Virgen y Madre.
Bendito sea el nombre de María Virgen y Madre.
In 1974, I travelled outside Australia for the first time, to England, where I arrived eager to see the mother country. At school I had learned English history and read the great English authors. No wonder I expected to feel perfectly at home. The reality was something else altogether. It was culture shock. If you're in a country where people speak another language, you expect to feel like a foreigner. When they speak the same language but live by a different set of rules, you're all at sea. You're face to face with the Hierophant who's asking you to work out who you are, to take responsibility for your own spiritual development. I was living in a conservative academic environment and felt like an alien as I tried to make polite conversation with people who spoke in condescending tones to me, the little upstart from the colonies. Looking back on that year, the Hierophant was everywhere, asking me to challenge the cultural values of the so-called mother country. My answer to the Hierophant was an emphatic no. I rejected the notion that I was a disciple at the feet of high priests in the country of my ancestors. Another country was my home, and its cultural values were more important to me. Back home in Australia in 1974, the Hierophant was evident in the guise of the Whitlam Labor government. Their program of reform had been challenging the principles and values Australians had accepted as gospel over the preceding 23 years of Conservative rule. In the 1974 snap election, Whitlam was returned with the slimmest of margins, showing just how difficult it is for people to heed the Hierophant's message, to challenge long-held beliefs.
That first trip overseas 30 years ago was a huge learning curve. Lots of things I'd taken for granted just went out the window.
I was successful in challenging some things, for example that the cultural values of a foreign country were my values. However, I didn't challenge assumptions about a different kind of institution, the institution of marriage. But that's another tale for the next ticket, passport and tarot cards, where we'll meet the lovers, the next card in the Major Arcana. And that trip takes us to the Middle East, to Iraq.